Leaving Chicago for OKC was the best decision I ever made. It's the best major city in the country.
Oklahoma City, dude. What are you, on drugs? Yeah, I'm gonna go to Oklahoma. I'm gonna get a big 10-gallon hat. I'm gonna walk around like this.
I genuinely think that if Nick Fuentes was off camera, he would be like androgenic and apologize for accidentally misgendering a trans person. Of all of the like would-be reactionary people who genuinely just want to live in Astoria and go out to the club and have cool friends, he is the most like on the nose, you know?
I walk around like this with my belt buckle. Hey, y'all, I'm in Oklahoma. What are you, high? You think I would ever? I'm going to live in Oklahoma where it's fucking 10 trillion degrees and the whole state is red? I don't think so. I've never been there, but I don't think so. I don't know what's wrong. I actually like liberals. I actually like living near and around liberals. I like...
He's genuine. He's literally the only honest one, man. It's fucked up. Every wealthy conservative culture warrior on the planet agrees with this. All of them do. Like Andrew Tate said, racism is for poor people. All right. The well-off reactionary, like upper crust, the culture elite, you know, they're not going to fucking hick 99% white towns to start, you know, child rearing and homesteading or whatever. They all live when conservative influencers move to Tennessee, they go to Nashville. When they go to Texas, they go to Austin. If they go to, they always go to the center where there's the most liberals possible, because everybody knows it's the same reason conservative alternative social media sites keep failing. Everybody fucking knows conservatives suck to be around. They're stupid and ugly. They're not fun. They're all pedophiles, so God help you if you have children. No, it's literally, like, what you want to be around liberal. The conservatives are disgusting. You always want to go to the blue part. And the bluer an area, the better it is, like 98% of the time. What's the point of their political project then? Well, in Nick Fuentes' case, it's to like make money off donos or whatever. Same as me, buddy. Nah, it's like, yeah, they're all grifters. What do you want? They don't have they don't believe this shit. You kidding me?
Living around them, they're cultured. You know, I don't want to eat barbecue all the time, actually. I don't want to eat a bunch of smoked meat in, like, syrup. Because that's what's good food down there. You say, what's your specialty? So we smoke meat, and then we cover it in syrup. We cover it in sweet and spicy syrup.
Well, wait, barbecue is good? Yeah, you know how you make barbecue better? You do it in a city that isn't 99% white. Like, yeah, the best barbecue you're going to get in America is going to be in towns that are like 50% Latin or whatever. Yeah. He literally said he wants to live in a place that's more cultured. It's just funny to me how many people there are that watch Nick Fuentes and don't realize that he is the antithesis of everything they believe in. He's a reminder that the moment you get the cultural and worldly experience necessary to make the judgment, you realize literally everything they believe in and everything they want hurts them too. Like, white people aren't happier living in fucking Kansas City. Like, the white people in Oklahoma are barely literate. They're like third worlders down there. The white people living in Chicago, they're doing great. They're out there getting Marg Towers. They're getting Lalas at Cha-Cha's. They're going to the ice cream museum.
Great. What else you got? Mac and cheese. So that's cheese sauce on noodles. Do I have that right? So you have meat with syrup on top and then pasta and cheese sauce. And that's your specialty. Yup. Okay, well, you know, I think I'll just stick around here, actually. I think I'm good with the lattes, actually. I think I'll take the matcha. I think I'll stick with the lattes and the avocado toast and all that.
He's so camp. He's such a fucking queen, man. He's so fucking funny. It's insane how much funnier he is when he's revealing the fact that he has the personal preferences of a upwardly mobile liberal yuppie. He's so much funnier than he ever was Holocaust posting. Genuinely, like the cringiest bits he ever did, and that's why he stopped, by the way. What if your ovens bake? What if you had? Could you even bake 6 million cookies? Like, where would you get the oven space? Like 14-year-old brain dead. But I mean, his viewers eat it up, and that's why he hates his viewers. So forced and awkward. You know, he doesn't fucking believe it. It's all like Pepe posting. He's funny as fuck when he's acknowledging the fact that he wants to get Mark Towers and Lala's Achachas or whatever. You know. Every conservative is like this. Tucker Carlson, Jesse Waters, all of them. Trump, fucking Trump, all of them. They're all like this, man. He'd be so much happier as a yuppie in NYC. Dog, he lives in Chicago, doesn't he? Doesn't he live in Chicago? Or like in the suburbs around Chicago? He's literally a yuppie in a blue megacity. Like that's actually what he's living his dream life, man. Nick Fuentes as a Pilates class would be so fun. Yeah. Nah, he's a suburbanite. Nah, it's Chicago suburbs. Chicago has a lot of blue suburbs. It's fine. It's fine. It's all good in the hood. You know? It's just funny to like run a career where you're like, you know, oh, I don't want my fucking Western civilization taken over by blacks and Jews and Hispanics, and then you live in fucking Chicago. And you love it there. You love it there. You go offline and you're like, I love living around blacks. I love living around Jews. I love women. I love gay bars. Yes, I love my avocado toast and my $9 lattes. I love civilization. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Because I agree. I'm right there with you, buddy. I hear he's from the Evanston area. He might have even voted for Kat Abigazale. That would be funny as fuck. Oh, God. Sorry, I don't know. Is it wrong? It actually does fill me with joy because it's one of those, like, you know, the conservative movement has to push the rock uphill. We just have to roll it downhill. Reality agrees with us, you know? We don't, like, the culture war argument that the real Americans live in fuck-ass, you know, Dallas, Fort Worth area suburbs that were built in the past 5 years. No one actually believes that. It's all fake. Even the people who live there drive 90 minutes both ways on the weekends so they can go to downtown where the culture is, you know? Thing that amazed me about these grifters, they never seem to consider what'll happen if they win. Fuentes knows nothing he does or says will ever stop Chicago from being a woke bastion. He'll always get to live in the world he wants to. He just wants to make sure he has the money to enjoy it. That's the real problem, man. It just shouldn't be super expensive to get to live in an urban megacity. That's all. That's what I'm fighting for. I want people in Oklahoma to be able to go like, hey, you been to Kansas City? The Kansas City in question, population 8 million, has the density of the Kowloon walled city. You go over there and it looks like you're in fucking San Francisco or whatever blend of ethnic influences you prefer. I want everyone to get to live in a real civilization, personally, you know? And if you want to live like a Ruroid, then you can go live in the forest naked and we can hunt you for sport. I don't know what you want. I love my Vancouver. Yes. Yes. Vosh wants Judge Dredd style city block, but happier. Judge Dredd is so fucking reactionary, dog. We all fucking know that if those mega city blocks were real, people would pay out the nose to live in them. Are you fucking kidding me? You get to live in like a 200-story tall mega tower where on your floor there's like arcades and cafe. Dude, people would be losing their minds trying to live there. It'd be like $5,000 a month rent. They have to add the crime and the drugs and stuff as if a place like that wouldn't be a fucking paradise. You're really telling me that a mega city block wouldn't be like all of the most insufferable avocado toast sniffing yuppies in the city congregating, and every day they go out and they like walk the ring around their block floor and go to the cafes and stuff. People would love that shit. I don't know, they're based off the actual Kowloon Walled City. Yeah, but Kowloon Walled City was just the product of like a regulatory oversight. Those mega city blocks would have a lot of money put into them. price is the only reason I don't live in the city. Price is like the only reason fucking 98% of the people who don't live in the city don't live in the city, you know? Everyone would live in, basically all humans would either live in the city or in a dense suburb if they could afford to. That's the reason why those are the most expensive places to live. There's a reason why you can buy a McMansion in the Fort Dallas suburbs for $100,000, and it's because they're shit and nobody likes actually living there, and all the people there kill themselves. Everyone wants to live in the city or the dense suburbs around it. Everyone wants to live within a 20-minute drive of like a dense multicultural urban core. That's why those places cost so much. That's why it's cheap to buy land in northern Idaho. I don't know, man. People in Arkansas exist. They don't want to be there. They're victims. We have to save them. It reminds me of Cyberpunk in a way. The game Cyberpunk, I mean, because like, in Cyberpunk, you're basically playing GTA. There's like a comedic amount of crime. But if you got rid of the comedic amount of crime, it's actually like really nice. Not the world. The lore is evil, you know, but like the lived environment. Everyone, it's cool as hell. The whole point is that it's cool as hell. You go outside and it's like, oh man, everyone looks rad and everything's walkable and there's public transit everywhere and everything's glowing and shit. Like they have to add the GTA criminality to it, because in reality everyone knows you'd want to live there. What are you going to do, live out in the wastes? No. Well, I eat sprinkles, that's my point. The fucked up thing is that living in the city should be the cheapest way to live, because infrastructurally the cost of construction and maintenance and building the infrastructure and amenities for a person living in a city is a fraction of what it is for a ruraloid. Like, just maintaining the road network to access a rural community is orders of magnitude more expensive than maintaining the infrastructure for a group of people living in the city. An apartment block downtown that houses hundreds of people requires about the same amount of, like, road maintenance per person as, like, Jesus, like it's like 1/1000th the road maintenance you need for every person living in a rural area. Like, you have to maintain miles of road sometimes just to reach a community of a couple dozen. Are you saying ruraloids are welfare queens? Literally has always been the case. That has been the case since the Industrial Revolution. I mean, give me that strong towns tax chart. You take a look at like the tax revenue per land usage of any city in America, or like any city in the world. The most economically productive areas, the places that produce the most money relative to how much they cost to maintain, are always the downtown areas. Here's Ramsey Co, Minnesota, whatever the fuck this, I don't even know if this is a real place. Ramsey Co? Yeah, sure, there you go. I don't know. Value per acre map? Yeah. So how much you tax them for? Look at this shit, man. Living in the city should be cheap as hell. If we did the math properly, living in an apartment building here should cost like $600 a month, and living in an apartment building out here, or like a house or whatever, should cost vastly more. It's just math. We're doing everything backwards. Here's Minneapolis, which I visited recently, by the way, to say hello to my beloved editors. And look at this. You go to downtown Minneapolis, which I did, by the way, and it was lovely, by the way. Just wanted to say I had a great time there. Wouldn't go there in the middle of the winter, but, you know. And you take a look at the taxable... Like, it's just crazy. It should be cheap as hell to live in a city. You're not clear in Kowloon? That place was a shithole? What do you mean? I don't know what you're saying. Kowloon was a shithole because it was like a tent city that grew up. I don't know. What does that have to do with this? Sorry, I do love looking at these maps, though. It's crazy how like distinct the lines are. How's this one? I don't know what town this is. It's not marked. This is Knox County, Tennessee. No. Wow. Okay, wait. Look at Knox County, Tennessee. Holy shit. It's literally like all of the revenue for the entire county comes from like 5 blocks, and everywhere else is either a wash or just a drain, you know? This is the reason, I'm not kidding, by the way, this is the reason why Tokyo can continue to expand and why Japan can maintain its obscene national debt. I'm not joking, because Tokyo is like a hyper mega ultra city that is built in a way that actually allows for a very efficient distribution of its infrastructural resources, which is why it's pretty well connected, considering the fact that it's the size of, like, I don't know, the planet or whatever. There's a legitimate argument that urban areas subsidize suburbs, in the same way that there's a legitimate argument that, like, we live in a heliocentric solar system. Yeah. Can we see this map for Tokyo? I don't think they've done this for Tokyo. Tax revenue or value per acre map Tokyo. I don't think this has been done. Tokyo is like very... Oh, maybe. Hold on. No, this is Milwaukee. I want... Yeah, Milwaukee is not, in fact, Tokyo. Tokyo is very big. Yeah, Jesus Christ, look at that. Fox? Yeah, you got me. I live in Seattle. Look, you can see... Look at the horrifying level of development. No, it's good. It's ecologically good and financially good. It's actually really good. For one, if you live in Tokyo, you probably have closer access to, like, dense forestry than you do living in a lot of the United States. But also, like, this level of density and concentration means you can sustain an enormous population while remaining pretty, pretty efficient ecologically, right? You still get to keep... You get to keep a lot of your natural wilderness. Then you take a look at, like, you take a look at, like, this shit or whatever, and dude, all of this is leveled. All of this is farmland. None of this is real. You take a look at, like a low density, like, this is all, look at you, it's all gone. There's no nature here. It's all just little farm squares. No matter how far in or far, you're hundreds of billions of miles away from, like, the real world over here, in the farmland, right? It's not leveled, it's flat and good farmland. That's leveled. The farmland isn't natural. The farmland across the United States and everywhere eradicated the biological diversity here. It's gone. You have to destroy everything, all the natural habitats, the animals, all that. It's all just like, there's no prairie anymore. Yeah, where's the dang bison? They got some bison over here in Yellowstone, I guess. There you go. This is what it should look like this, I agree, but where do you get your food otherwise? Look, I'm not saying, well, for one, like, a significant portion of our farmland is used to feed livestock, so that's one thing. But for two, I'm not anti-farming. I'm just saying people often mistake this. They say this is the natural environment. Bucko, this ain't the natural environment. Not even close. This is how humans should live. They should live in dense, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. How are we titling this? Nick Fuentes is the only one of them willing to be honest about this, Lamau. What a queen. What a queen. The last liberal? Truly, truly. Living in an American suburb would make me want to kill myself. It's pretty bad, yeah. I'd visit my grandparents over in Florida. They lived in a suburb like this, and yeah, no, it does not feel good. Children don't play outside. It's just... people here are not... Ugh. It just needs trees? No, it's not just the trees. That's cope. For one, they're not even planting fucking trees here. Look, like, okay, they have one per block. Look at this. That, like, they're not even really planting trees here. Look at this. One. Okay, so in 100 years, you'll have like 30% tree cover, Also, these lot sizes are just way too big. These houses don't need to be this big. Have you ever visited a person who lives in a property like this? They don't use most of their house. They stuff all of their bullshit in the 2-car garage. Okay, fine, that's fine. Garages are meant to house bullshit. You have the bedrooms and the living room and so on, but like a lot of the house is just empty. They have like at least 3 rooms that just don't get used. And then you have all the empty space around the lots. All of this is subsidized. Near this, there is a real city that produces revenue, and that is where the money to support this comes from. It is incredibly expensive to build and maintain these road, electrical's not too expensive. Plumbing's always a big one. Networks, roads and plumbing, those are the big ones, you know? Those neighborhoods are crazy quiet, like as if no one lives there. Yeah, because every house is like a personal castle. It's so antisocial. It's crazy. The big cope, too, is people who live like this act like they have barbecues and cookouts and stuff. No, the fuck they don't. They're scared to leave the house. If you want to go to a neighborhood that has a lot of barbecues and cookouts, go to a black neighborhood in the city. They're doing that shit all the time. You do not want to go to the white McMansion suburban area. They are not doing that shit. A lot of these houses probably have like 2 kitchens. We lived in a townhouse with a communal courtyard and had so many cookouts. I had a really nice time when I was in St. Paul because what's the name of the famous street in St. Paul? Summit? I think it was called Summit Avenue. It's this famous street that has a bunch of like very, very fancy it has like it's got very fancy houses there. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Is this it? Johnson Avenue. Where's Summit Avenue? Hold on. And one thing I really appreciated about it is, hold on, okay. So these houses are like old giga mansions. I mean, like tens and tens of millions of dollars. But the nice thing is the neighborhood's actually relatively pro-social in spite of how wide the road is. It's only 1 lane both ways. These houses are huge. The lots are too big. I'm not defending the wealth on display here, but the actual like neighborhood felt pretty nice and cozy. And there were parks pretty often, you know? Really cute little places that were actually seeing some use. There were people out walking their dogs. A lot of it's the tree cover, and you might notice there's more than 1 fucking tree per block here. But also they had a lot of parks. A lot of tree cover, very good. I feel like these pictures aren't doing it justice. There were a lot of dog walkers. It is an older suburb. I don't know. Trees are goated. Trees are pretty goated.